Hi there. So back again. Apologize about delay a little bit here. Issues with the computer, but really not much has sort of transpired today, except for sort of personal income coming in above expectations. PCA prices stabilizing, and overall, in general, like personal income went up, personal spending actually remained the same pretty much. So that's not bad. PCE prices remain the same. PCE core prices remain the same. So in that sense, we're seeing these numbers sort of, I would say, complementing the yesterday's initial claims numbers. So that's a good sign that would give some form of support to the markets today, and sort of that's what I think is sort of important. So we have a pretty much a stable sort of I would say a platform or a stable playing field to sort of take a look at our earnings calls today. If we to take a look at NVIDIA today, NVIDIA, Meta, they should be coming up back to what we were talking about yesterday in terms of sort of neglecting some of the blue chip stocks that have gone down, maybe like, I don't know, like call it $100, like for example, maybe 20-30% on one end, on one side, to like SMCI and NVIDIA, stuff like that. Their price, their market price has gone down significantly due to these interest rate issues that the price to earnings growth could make a lot of investors appetite for these tech stocks go up. So I always like to use FinViz when we take a look at some of these stocks here. Like for example, today NVIDIA went up to 836. Yesterday, we sort of anticipated that it would go up to about the 850 level. So right now it's at 836. So we're pretty interested in this stock right now too. Right. So when you get sort of like a 20% discount to market, and you got the prospects of a decreasing treasury, like interest rate, then and possibility of the outlook being like thematic in terms of AI this year. So I'm taking a look at AI stocks and thinking that if I were to buy something on margin or whatnot, we would be sort of taking a look at some of these these blue chips here. So I think that's sort of a good trade idea for today. Like if you look at Meta, for example, Meta today, not really going too high up. But yesterday, yesterday we had that dip there post earnings of what was it? If we scroll back a little bit here, we see that post earnings we got a price of a low of at 9 yesterday, pretty much of 9:30, 417. So we said calls yesterday at 425, and right now it's at 440. So we're sort of interested in these types of call it sort of like these plays where we're trading with the market. We're trading with it's always nice when you have investors and this and that on your side, right, when you're trading. So Meta is like I think Meta, like we just crossed the VWAP here on Meta, so where it could be we could see some profit taking today, but these PCE numbers and these sort of consumer spending numbers are interesting. If anything, we would sort of take a look at. We could take a look at trading the stock, using the data that we have today. So I think today I'm actually pretty I think like maybe the first 15 minutes is sort of given us an idea. I would still be bullish today on purchasing calls for most AI stocks and whatnot. So but we also have to we have to think about we want to finish off the week strong, and we still have to look at some of these earnings reports that have come out. Most of the major stocks are oil and gas related. So obviously, and we have one sort of several healthcare stocks, but mainly I would say mainly like we're looking at ExxonMobil. We're looking at maybe mainly ExxonMobil and Chevron for today, and AbbVie and Colgate Palmolive. But we didn't get what we wanted today. So we're sort of ExxonMobil missed earnings by 15 cents. Revenue topped estimates. So all of these investors are moving. We can assume that they're sort of either one, have been following that stock for a while and found a good buy sort of some value to either adding to their portfolio or to find to find a range for them to buy the stock. So, but other than that, you wouldn't necessarily go and buy these stocks unless you're totally trying to diversify away from a AI tech value play, which is at a steep discount, 20-30% steep discount. A lot of the turning of the and the rebalancing of the portfolio, I would assume that is still occurring. So we have AbbVie here. AbbVie missed expectations by 0.4%. So if we take a look at AbbVie, which is actually quite an AbbVie. That's something we can sort of talk about. These healthcare stocks have sort of missed expectations. They're really not. I would say, we're looking at some in the range where we're sort of looking at for either shorting or either it's not really in the range of I would say where we're trying to trade this frequently. I'm just not comfortable with trading healthcare stocks. But yeah, so I just think really with healthcare stocks, we really have to. I'm comfortable enough to trade it so that we don't trade it all the time. It's we're looking for really the ultimate trade with some of these healthcare stocks. Like when you look at AbbVie, for example, this stock here, AbbVie. The highest it's been, AbbVie, is 180, 184, 185. So we're looking at AbbVie and we think at the beginning of April, AbbVie had was worth like $180. So at $185, something like that. So even like if you look at sort of if we're looking at the day chart here, we see that AbbVie was at $182 and had been at $182 roughly from March to April. So I would say, like right now, if we were to trade AbbVie, I would depending on the SPY here, we see this downward trend here. from here to here, you know, and it's just crossing that 130, you know, it could have some room to fall, but it seems like you know, we're probably gonna, we don't see anything like too major, like RSI wise it's sort of oversold. So AbbVie is sort of like, in my opinion, sort of you know, we should like sort of put this on I would say some sort of you know, on hold. I wouldn't say it's a good buy either. Right now, we have some like sort of a dip here, a dip buy that got rejected at 170. So, you know, it was rejected obviously this morning at 180, 182. So you know, and you know, we're sort of past this point where you know, earnings came out, continued downward trend below the 6, and you know, below the VWAP. AbbVie, I think last year, you know, you really have to, you know, try to find some value in purchasing the stock at this price. So, anyways, it's on 130 right now. So, you know, I you know, had said that we would put a call on the SPY at 507, and you know, right now it's up. It's up quite a bit. 82 cents, 88 cents. It's on the, I think this is the this is the 13 right on the VWAP there. We have a change in the VWAP, so I think this is going to keep, we can hold it for a little bit longer. Yeah. Okay. So I think we have an overall trend here that I think is pretty good. That sort of brings us back. So I think you know, this has more room to sort of we can hold this for a little longer until we check our you know, maybe for another little bit here. Okay, 508. Yeah. 508 here. Nvidia is up quite a bit when we were chatting. You know, 830, 820, we were chatting was at 834, 835. You know, it's at 855, so that's another $20 there. You know, this seems to be like obviously like people like pushing, pumping these AI stocks. So you know, Meta AI, all of these stocks, Meta, Nvidia, you I recommend, holding until probably 10:30, if you can get anything in. So that's sort of my take on this. talking about the SPY here, but I'm looking at NVIDIA. I'm checking on NVIDIA, and I see that, you know, NVIDIA has dropped back down to about 852. 852 on the 1 minute. You know, I see this at 853. You know, we could have somewhat of a good day, I think, on the Nasdaq. So, you know, I think it would be wise to maybe try to buy NVIDIA right now at 854 and sell at 860, 85, 861. We could see if with the market is the appetite for that. So I'm gonna put in right now that we should buy a call at 855. So call on NVIDIA at at 855. To see if we can, you know, get that $5 here. See if we can get that. Okay. So see if we can get that sort of trade happening. So if we can get that trade happening, I think that would be good. We can hold that until at least 10:30. I think that's when the real volume is going to kick in. So we should have some sort of you know, aim for that. Okay, we should aim for 10:30. That's I think that's what's most important right now. Okay. Not being overly concerned. We should have what the undertones of the market are. I think the market could push up a little higher, and you know, we could start, you know, shifting more into NVDA, into some of these bigger blue chips, NVDA, Meta, so on and so forth. So I think that's important to realize. Okay. Yeah. So I think if you guys can sort of get that. Oh, okay. We're getting a huge drop right now. I would close my SPY position right now. Okay. Okay. I would close my SPY position. We don't want to, you know, or reduce our SPY position right now. We don't want to get too caught up with the SPY right here. Okay. So, you know, 507.85. So I would start, you know, decreasing our SPY position, but I still wouldn't go out of the market yet. Not until maybe 10:30 or so. We just got the consumer sentiment in, and obviously consumer sentiment has been like pretty good for the last few quarters. So we had one sort of bad quarter today. So, you know, I think, you know, the market isn't overly surprised at that. And I think we should still be able to make a push upwards. And I think you saw that with this drop here, but I wouldn't be overly too concerned about it. I'm gonna post this 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 economic data, this data out, so that you guys have a copy of it on in chat here. So I think like the consumer data today is not really too much of an issue, because we've had so many good quarters of consumer consumer good consumer sentiment that I think like this one off is I think is going to be okay for today. So I wanted to sort of emphasize that because everything is sort of cumulative, right? So we don't want to be out on a market where like 9 out of 10 times we've had like good data, and then one time we had a negative consumer sentiment, like, and we got to take a look at the other 4 sort of indicators too, where we're either above expectations or either maintaining things, so maintaining our percentages here. So I think the market realizes that today is a good buying opportunity, and yeah, personal spending is obviously very important, knowing that people are willing to spend and not slowing down the economy. And from previous and yesterday, knowing that and also knowing that PCE prices are remaining stable, and for example, yesterday's data, aside from the GDP, is we're seeing inventories sort of decrease, right? So inventories decreasing allows for PCE prices to remain stable for a little bit at least. So it just shows like producers are willing to sort of get rid of inventory, but in the intermediate term, so we're not being affected by these producer prices, or a possible increase in producer prices. So we're getting due to inflation, due to inflation. So yeah, what this means is that we could producer prices like could go up in the near future, but it doesn't mean that right now at least it is going up, and where I think as we're talking about, where we're all anticipating this rate cut here in June, right? So that's why I think we can still continue onwards today on this sort of this bunch of calls on SPY, at 507, as I mentioned, calls on Meta and Nvidia. When we were chatting, Meta, it was at 8:55 earlier. Even 15-20 minutes into the market, it was at 8:35. So like that's easy, like $20 easily. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to be, we need to sort of like have these types of, trade ideas in order for, in 15-20 minutes into the market, it was at 8:35. So you have to have some of these sort of ideas. Easy, like $20 easily. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna be. We need to sort of like have these types of these types of trade ideas in order for in 15, 20 minutes before we have to have some of these sort of ideas. So yeah, so like I mentioned right now, like Nvidia's back up 862. I think we can hold it for a little bit here. 862. I would say, if we look at the order book, level 2 here, if we get a level 2 quote, well, we get a much clearer, idea, that, we're at 862. So yeah, so like I mentioned right now, like Nvidia's back up 862. I think we can hold it for a little bit here. We got 862. We got buyers right now at 867, 863, 863.08, 863.31. So we have a bunch of buyers here. So buying this uptrend here, and it doesn't appear that Nvidia is coming back down for a little bit here. Okay. So we got this uptrend here, right? Okay, so 4% today, 4.5%. We're trying to understand, this, in a sense that will Nvidia today, will it make the push up to 5%? So, and it seems like, it appears to me that it will. And if we look at the 5-minute here quickly, okay, we see that the next sort of resistance level that we have here, maybe on the 15-minute here, is at roughly, what is it at? What's this at? 880 or so. So we know we're gonna run out of steam pretty soon for this trade here. So I would actually get out at this trade. I'm looking on the 1-minute. I would start getting out of this trade right now. I'm on the 1-minute. We have resistances at 860. I don't think if it even touches, we could wait till it touches 5%. Okay, but I would sell immediately at 5%. I would even sell right now at 865. Yeah, I would sell right now at 865. So I'm gonna put that in my chat here. Okay, sell NVDA. $855 at 867. Okay, 05. Okay, so we made this sort of okay. So where it's 867. So we're pumping right now. Okay. So we got this. So sell NVDA calls, 855 calls. $855 calls. 867.85. Okay, 867, 822 right now, 821. Okay, so how much did we make? We made like, you know, $13 here, almost, right? You know, it's still going up. Okay, and we can go up a little more. I think it's trying to make the run up to 874. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Start fading on down. Yeah. Okay. And oh, okay, sell all calls. Sell all. Sell all NVDA. NVDA. The other calls. NVDA 855 at 870. You can get it. We're still getting this sort of lag here. Sorry, I'm sort of we're still not seeing what we want here, and I think sort of the market's sort of dropping right now, so I would say sell the rest of it. Sell the other calls now. So we got this sort of happening here. Okay. If we go back to the SPY here, we take a look at the SPY here. Okay, see our calls, our 507 calls on the SPY seem to be carrying through pretty well. We'll see if we can crack this little 508, 509, this 6-day here, 6-day trend. If we can't, I think we should sell the SPY at its current level. Okay, but we have some time here to see what we can get. So we did hit 509 earlier. Okay, so if we did hit 509 earlier, we could see some type of bounce on back upwards. Okay, so I would say right now there could be a chance there could be some sort of bounce off the 6 day here, and then the upward move have another upward move here. Yeah, so off the 6 here, you see that? So we're off. So you see that we're off this. We're off the 13, off the 6, way above VWAP right now on the 2-minute. So we're coming back. Oh. The NASDAQ sorry, the SPY is sort of following the NASDAQ right now more than the Dow Jones. So we should see maybe an upward movement a little bit here. Okay, so that's very important. It's very important to know that like the SPY is sort of following this upward trend here, or else we need that momentum to sort of understand where we think the market is going, and the direction of the market. So we're hitting this 509 as resistance. Can we break through this 509? I would start reducing my my SPY positions right now. I would say right now would be a good time to take profit on the SPY here. So I would start taking profit right now. Sell calls, the 507 calls. Sell NVDA. Sell calls on the SPY. The SPY 507 SPYs right now. 507 at right now it's at 508.69. 508.69. Sell calls right now at 508.69. So 507, 50. Hold on a second. 507, 508.75. There could be some more momentum coming in at 10:30 right now, but I highly doubt it. I would start taking profit right now at 507.70 even. Yeah. So there could be more. There could be a little more, and we're seeing this sort of develop here, but I highly doubt it. So right now we should take profit right now. We should take profit right now. Yeah. Okay. We should take at least a little bit out. Yeah. Okay. Take it. Just take some profit. Take some profit. Okay. So this is we're getting this. We're getting this sort of trade happening. So today NVDA was very profitable. Calls at 855, looking to extend upwards to essentially a discounted sort of AI market, where because of sort of these tech earnings that didn't do so well, uh, uh, plus a sort of a bunch of data that was sort of bunch of economic data, such as like the GDP numbers that were sort of expected, uh, and and overall, like, and pretty much for the past few weeks, the market has put like quite a bit of discount on some of these thematic AI stocks. It just seems like the right move for today, because of these consumer spending numbers and PCE numbers, that and yesterday's inventory numbers, that we could have this run up today. So in AI stocks, so Nvidia, like, purchased at 855, calls at 855, sold at near 870. So for like a good $15 profit, and on the SPY we purchased at 507 because of today's economic data, and we sold at near 509, so 508.70. So these two sort of trades are already very profitable, and should be good enough for today. And we should see sort of the market make a decision, like should it shall it continue going up, or is it like more a dip buy opportunity? But right now I would start really taking a look at what are some other trades that we can have here, and how far can we take it. We're seeing this drop right on back down here, right on back down to 507 as expected. NVDA dropping right back down to possibly 860. Nasdaq has dropped pretty much 0.2%. We could possibly have another sort of dip buy for Nvidia, but it doesn't appear that it has sort of the enough volume to or enough buyers for sort of the push up to past 870. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know if we have the push up to past 870. Where sort of volume sort of fading on down here. Volume is sort of fading on down. So could there be a possible sort of push up to? This could be actually a pretty good opportunity for a dip buy. Okay, we hit the high of the day, hit the multi-period high. We came back down. We could, retest this sort of on the 2-minute here. We could retest this. We could see a push right on back up to 870. Hard to say. On the 1 minute, sort of really depends on the type of sort of upward trending this channel here that we might sort of get another sort of push up to the multi-period high here. So this could possibly be, a point of support. 685, 684. I would wait for a pullback to maybe about 863. If there is one. If there's not, I would wait another several minutes. If there's not, then then you got that you got the cue to sort of you got the signal to buy 864 right now, 864.60. So meanwhile, right now, the SPY is still holding up here. SPY is still holding up. Okay. Sort of like, and you gotta understand, like a lot of people are sort of like, wondering about these. What we should check coin here. The coin is up quite a bit today, but it's been like very volatile. Like it's been, like hitting like 217, like as a low of the week, and sort of and really this low of the week. It would have been nice to get in at 217 for coin. It's up only what 2% today. I mean, is it only up 2%? Yeah. Yeah, so it's up 3% today. Okay, and I could still see maybe a push up to to perhaps we got to reject it at 231. We got rejected at 231. Yesterday we made the push up to 230, okay, or the day before, and this week, sorry about that. This week, we've sort of like seen how this stock is like has this sort of head and shoulders pattern where investors are sort of post Bitcoin happening, starting to see this optimism in this stock turn sort of more pessimistic. So we're seeing this like head and shoulders pattern where we obviously have a bottom here of 217, like our low of the day, our low of the week at pretty much what is that, 210, and our sort of 217.78 as resistance. Could we today, for example, could we make a push up to 237? We got rejected once at 231. So the possibility of making the push up, I think would be, I don't know. We would have to see whether or not they can maintain this 228.61 resistance level, or 228 resistance level. Right now, it seems like it's just dipping back down here. Momentum up is, hard to say. Like, we gotta take a look at some. We want stocks that sort of are, the news about the Bitcoin halving is sort of behind behind everybody now. So are we just gonna, it seems to me like it could keep coming back down a little bit before it goes back up. So, it would be a good idea to for today at least. For today, I think the stock could fade on back down to maybe 225 or so, or 222, 220. So, or it could, obviously make the spike back on up to this resistance, this near term resistance level here of 233. So it's hard to say, but right now I would say, like, if the market, depending on some of these values that we're getting here, we could see a possible spike on up, but we'll have to sort of think about that a little bit here. Okay, so we gotta sort of see that. $227 could be a good place for we're fading on down for the next minute here from 230. So if we're not seeing any sort of large momentum, we could see coin coming back down a little bit here. Sort of like a sell-off right now, maybe down to 226. Yeah, so sort of overall sort of getting these the sort of choppiness in the past several days with coin, or even in the past month. But I think we sort of, if we look at the daily chart, we clearly see a head and shoulders pattern since March, from March to April. So we could be 227 could be a buy point for something in the future. It could be a rally for the Ethereum ETFs. For the next for however long. But I read the news where some of this sort of the stock is sort of very up and down with sort of a lot of institutional investors sort of I don't know, possibly now like sort of relocating or reallocating some assets post Bitcoin happening, and possibly there are another bunch of institutional investors who would be willing to purchase Bitcoin Coinbase based on the Ethereum ETF coming up. So I think this is a good opportunity, at least at this price level, since it's after a head and shoulders pattern, to consider the possibility of trading Coinbase the stock. So today it's like a little bit, as far as day trading is concerned, like today, like we have the spade on down. I think it's going to continue this trend for a little bit here, and I would say that we should continue this overall trend. This overall trend, it cracked this overall trend here. It could go lower, so I'd be buying puts on a coin if I were to sort of follow along this overall trend for the past few days or so, or since post Bitcoin happening, which is sort of from pretty much this going forward. If it sort of breaks this trend line here, this trend line here, then breaks the shelf here, which it broke the shelf and it came back down. That could be a sign that it could be coming back down. So yeah. So this is what we have right now. If we break this downtrend here, then that could work. It could make its push on up. If we break the shelf here, we could see a spike on up. Okay. All right. So as far as I'm concerned, as far as we're concerned here, I think we made our profit today on NVDA. Okay, we said now it's back up to 867. We said today that we would purchase at 855. Okay, it's sort of, it's making its push on up again. Okay, and we said earlier that 863 would be another good place to make another call on NVDA. Okay, so why did we say 863 would be a good call for NVDA? Okay, 863 would be a good call for NVDA. Okay. Because 863 is sort of like another sort of on the 2-minute, we see that it didn't break this this trend line here that we had right here at 865, right? 863. We had a trend line here at 865 that we drew earlier, okay? And when it held this resistance, this line here, this resistance line here, and then it shot on back up. So that's why we said like 863 was a good buy point, and I would sell it now and make another, call it, $2-3 here, right? So that was another trade idea, because we saw this trend line here. This trend line, it was at 865. The market sort of went sideways a little bit. We were waiting for a better price to come in, and we could have came in at about 862 because it held this trend line. Okay, it held this trend line, and that's what's important. That's what people want to see, right? People want to see that, we're holding this trend line to make a move on up, right? And that's what we saw. So, so that's from 863 to 866, 868. It's $5, right? So now, you should sell it, obviously. Okay. Okay, so I think that's pretty much all the trades I'm going to be doing for today. I think that's pretty much good. I would always suggest, like, you guys check sort of some of the oil prices and some of these other sort of commodity prices, because obviously commodity prices are playing a factor into the overall, into more increasingly, I would say, into our sort of trade ideas, right? So we have to understand that, now we have to look at these commodities, and for example, I think we can sort of take a look at even Costco is very interesting in that we see that today, because of these consumer prices, consumer spending, so on and so forth, where we see that Costco has totally made the spike back on up from yesterday to today. So Costco would have been an interesting sort of swing trade from yesterday to today, where yesterday the issue was that people were concerned about sort of this data where what was it, GDP obviously went down, durable, I think it was not it was like inventories, wholesale inventories went down yesterday, right? So we immediately saw that the stock price went down from 730, call it, to 727, call it right now. Yesterday's price, I mean, like, so what is it? Whatever it is today or yesterday. I mean, well, I mean, we can put this in right now. I mean, like, so we saw this sort of this at 727, 726, sort of, and we saw the drop back down because of sort of the wholesale inventories decreasing, right? And the decrease in obviously retail inventories too. So we saw that drop back to, what is it, 714 or so. But then today we got better personal spending numbers and personal income numbers. So we're seeing the spike on back up, and we gradually saw saw that too later on in the afternoon, like, call it after maybe 12 o'clock or so, we got a pretty good run up again. So we're starting to see that sort of spike back on up to yesterday's levels. Oh, it's not that bad. Like, personal income, it's like the personal income numbers are increasing, so people are willing to possibly spend. Personal spending is 0.8, and when we're thinking about sort of these economic data, where we're assuming that that people are willing to spend. And what better stock to pick than Costco, right? For people to spend money. Okay, Intel today. I just want to do a quick up. So NVDA making that move on up. 860, 868.70 for. We got Intel today. Okay, Intel plunged. What is it? 10% today. Intel. Let's take a look at Intel here. Intel plunged 10%. I think it's because they were saying there's something faulty with some of the new chips, and on lower Q2 forecast, obviously, and so we have this obviously sort of issue. Intel's guidance today, obviously. Uh, but earnings fall short on the revenue outlook, revenue projections. So revenue projections are obviously more important. Um, so Intel is, fell 10%. I think, when we take a look at the day chart, this might be could be start of something maybe worse. This could be a start of a downtrend. But if we take a look at the day chart, I mean, we're back at October, levels here, where we're sort of not not getting some of the. We're back at sort of the October level. So. Is there some sort of down? Are we going to continue this downward trend, or is the stock going to go on up with the AI sort of trend for the next few months? Okay. SMCI today. SMCI today is up 6%, back to 834. SMCI would have been excellent, sort of this head and shoulders pattern, yesterday or on the sort of the beginning of the week. We had this excellent dip buy here at so we're seeing these sort of as areas of resistance, right? So yesterday we were at 800. We have this today. We're spiking on back up to 837. So these are sort of excellent levels that we have here, and yeah, so that's good. So let's check the SPY. Let's check Meta for a second here. Meta. And then, Nvidia is back above 5% or so. So yeah, so yesterday we dropped back down to 432.50. Now we're back up at 4. Now we're back up a little bit. We should definitely still keep our sort of attention on NVDA today. I think NVDA is something that today could make people make some money. We got a bunch of price target changes for Intel, which is obviously another catalyst, a trade for NVDA. So I would continue to purchase calls on NVDA today. We could see perhaps a spike on up to 872 or something like that. So we I would continue to sort of take a I would sell, actually, like if you purchased at the price that I had mentioned, that we had mentioned earlier, 863, I would probably sell right now at 872. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So Meta back up to about 442 that we had mentioned yesterday. So we sold at 832 yesterday when it was at what we purchased at 425. And finally, we want to sort of check the Amazon here. Amazon Nasdaq is up too. Nasdaq is just killing it today, right? So if Nasdaq is killing it, we wouldn't start selling your calls on NVDA, and it's past 2%. So 863, 873 now. That's another $10. Amazon is up 3% today. Okay. Okay, so 872 here. 872. Okay, so let's check the 15-minute here. Intel is sort of making its way up back on up to this this morning, roughly at opening at $32. So we're starting to see that trend upwards. SPY is at 509, right? 509.12. So sorry for the. There seems to be something wrong with the stream here. With the just cutting a little loud here, but yeah. So yeah. Let us. Sorry. Let me try to figure this out here. So SPY, is at 509. Purchase at 507. So that's pretty good. So that's all for today. Not much else here, and no. Hopefully this was informative, and recognizing that there are sort of you know you want to be on the side of you want to purchase stocks that are sort of sort of out of trend for a little bit, out of the investment realm, sort of when the market sort of turns, when the market sort of readjusts and rebalances. So you want to sort of understand that over the past few weeks, we've the data is sort of devalued, taken about 20 to 30%, maybe even more, 35% of some of these AI stocks. So we're starting to see a rebound. I will be leaving the stream on Tradecaster. I will have this on Tradecaster. I had some I'll leave this on. Anyways, regardless, this will be on Tradecaster, and please follow Tradecaster if you can. We have other traders that are trading live. We have a free 7-day trial, 7-day sign up. The sign up is about $100 and something. You can sign up for 7 days, and then if you like it, you can. The bundle is about, I think, what is it? Pricing wise is bundle pricing. I forget. You get a 7-day pass. You get monthly. It's less than $200. You can get 6 months or $870. So yeah. So it's always good to join or be a member with Tradecaster. Watch some of your or find the right trader for you, and take your trading skills to another level. Yeah. You need to be able to take your trading skills to another level. You want to be able to read these charts and sort of understand that you always want to be on the trading with the market, and understanding that that should sort of help your sort of trading to a whole different level. And yeah. Okay, so this will be on Tradecaster, and yeah, so hopefully you guys can refer back to Tradecaster and sign up and enjoy some of the types of traders that we have, um, and refer Tradecaster to your friends.